here with the monthly favorites for the month of March. Just a couple of housekeeping things, just so you know, Taroscopes as of April are moving over to the Patreon. It's at the $1 level, so it's really accessible. If you're interested in looking over there as well, we also have a fire module starting for Witch School for April. It's going April, May, June. I'm going to be talking about casting circles, spellcraft, all that stuff. So if you're interested, you can check it on out over there. Otherwise, let's get started with the favorites. I haven't had a ton of like new things, but I thought I would just go through. There's just a few things I've had for this month, but I thought they were still worth mentioning and still worth making a little video about. So the first thing is, for the month of February, actually, I should say this is kind of February as well, I got a couple of subscription boxes, which I've never had subscription boxes before. And I've seen other people open them and been like, oh, that looks really fun. So I tried out the Witch's Root, which is a smaller version of the Witch's Moon box. This one focuses more on herbs. It focuses more on sort of, what I would say green witchery on a lot of levels. So I got one that had willow as the theme, and it had kind of a dreams theme with it, which was really cool. I thought the packaging was great. I thought the stuff in it was great. It was obviously very thoughtful, curated, a very, very nice experience. I think one of my favorite things in the box actually was this selenite wand, like very nice piece of selenite. Like they didn't skimp on that, that's for sure. I think it's just a really great piece. I keep it with my card decks that I'm using. I think it's just a really, really nice, really lovely piece, and it looks really cool too. I also enjoyed the oil that they got. I have it here on my altar. This is the willow oil. It's kind of like a coconut oil with, it's got like lavender, some jasmine in it. It smells so good. It's so good, and it's so pretty. Like, I don't know if you can see that in there, but there's like plants in here. It's very, very pretty, very, very thoughtful. I also enjoyed getting the sketch box as well with art supplies in it. I can always use art supplies. This one had a watercolor theme, so they had their own brand of watercolor pencils. There was also, some pencils in there and stuff. There's a brush, some pen. There was a pen as well. So all the stuff you would need to like make a little watercolor painting. There was like little watercolor postcards. It was very cute, a lot of fun. So I'm going to try them for a bit, but I'm going to see how I feel about them and if they're worth the money, especially right now, the exchange rate for between Canada and the US, like it fluctuates, and right now we're not doing so good. So we'll see if I keep going with that, considering the cost of them. But it was a fun experience. Even if I stop this subscription, it was a fun thing to do. So I did really enjoy doing that. The other two things I got this month that I'm really loving is first the Dark Mansion Tarot. I love this deck. Oh my God, this deck is so me. I think it's my new favorite deck. I love it so much. Everything about it was just great. It came really fast considering it came from Poland. It took about a month. I was expecting it to take longer, but it was pretty good. I love there's this little sort of gold detailing on here, very nice. It's cardboard, but it's very sturdy, and I love how it opens like a little treasure box here, and so thoughtful. Like the cardstock is wonderful. Even the sides are colored. It's just beautiful, and I love it's kind of like Tim Burton-esque sort of, but it's like that creepy, cute, colorful, a little bit Victorian, a little bit cartoony. This king makes me laugh. It's just, I think it's a gorgeous deck. I love working with it. It photographs well. People seem to love it when they're read with it. It's just, I love this deck so much. I think it was just, it was expensive, but it was very much worth it, I think. So I would say go and check out, it's Taroteca Studios. I'll put a link below, and there's 3 different sizes. I got the smallest one, I think, but this size to me is perfect. There's a bigger one, but I like to have like smaller sort of decks to read with. I think it's easier to lay out on a table. And then the next deck that I'm really loving is the Goddess Power Oracle by Colette Baron-Reid. I think I've said this in videos before. I was a little concerned because she's now putting out about 2 decks a year. that the quality might suffer in the way that when Doreen Virtue started pumping out more decks, it did. But so far, that has not been the case. Cross our fingers it continues. The artwork on this is gorgeous. Now, I do not like the bigger box, I have to say. I just keep around the book, which is really nice, and the little box. I find the other a bit of a waste of packaging, to be honest. But again, we've got gorgeous artwork. I don't really care for the thicker cardstock with the matte, but I can live with it. So just beautiful, beautiful images. I find this is to be a very healing deck, a deck that's really gentle while still giving you the messages you need. I've been doing a goddess oracle reading on your goddess team reading on my Etsy. It's been very popular. I've got a lot of good feedback because I think people are really loving these cards, and I think these cards just have some really healing and wonderful things to say. So I think this is a wonderful deck if you're working with the divine feminine, for sure. So loving working with this deck. I haven't got a lot of new books or anything this month. I did pick up, I've just kind of read a little bit of it. So I'm going to do a book review when I do eventually finish it. But I got the W2AF is Tarot, which I've heard a lot of good things about. It's not a super chunky one. What the inside looks like. You've got these sort of drawings, and she goes through each of the cards, but she talks about it in the context of her personal experiences. She's very down to earth and realistic. She talks about, being a troubled teen and some of her experiences with things like addiction and stuff, and issues with like boyfriends and things like that. And so it's a very interesting, I think it's a very modern, very contemporary take on tarot. It does have swearing in it, so if you're sensitive to that, then maybe give this a pass. But it is, I think it's a fresh approach that I think a lot of people can really relate to, and it's designed really nicely too, so it's nice to look at. Other than that, other things to mention this month, I've been loving my studio, so that is still one of my favorites going on right now. And I have to talk about a Strange Planet comics, which you've probably seen going around the internet, but it's these cartoons of these aliens who explain things about human life in a really funny way. You have to look up nathanpyle.com, so I'll put the link down below. But his cartoons are so funny. Check them out if you haven't seen them already. I have been loving those. That is one of my new favorite things. And let me know what your favorite things have been for the month. Like I said, I don't have like tons of things, but these are the things that I've been into this month. Let me know what you've been into. Do you have any of these decks? What do you think of them? Are they on your wish list? Have you read the W2F TF is Tarot book? Let me know. I would love to hear. And as always, peace and love and rock.